Okay, today I'm going to make shampoo soap. So, just kind of, I'll just let you watch me as I go. But it's going to have olive oil in it, coconut oil, and rice bran oil. Now, we will also have lye, which is sodium hydroxide. This stuff is very volatile. You don't want to get it next to the water until you're outside in a well-vented area because it will create a toxic fume. And you have to have your glasses, you have to have gloves before you mix it because it will burn you. So making soap is not for the lighthearted. You don't take it for granted because that's when you get hurt. And I did a lot of research on YouTube and Google and all this stuff to teach myself how to do this. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to make soap. So you definitely want to, watch them before. Don't just take what I'm doing because they go in deeper description. Because not only that, but you have to do a lye calculator. You have to put in how much, if you're getting an already made soap recipe offline or from soap books or something, that's fine. Don't worry about it. But if you're kind of making it your own, or what I do is I got this particular soap recipe off of somebody's webpage, but I always run it through a lye calculator, which is, I do it through Brambleberry. It's a soap company. And you put in, I use 5% soap. Anyways, I'm just going to show you because, again, this is not exhausted in teaching. If you want to learn, the better way is for me to show you. But anyways, in person, because it would take a long time to do it. Anyways, but I'm going to put rosemary and currant fragrant oil in there. The difference between fragrant oil and essential oil is most fragrant oils is made for soap and for things that go through a chemical change, and it'll keep its smell. There are a lot of essential oils. If you put it in your soap, by the time the lye reacts to the oils to make it into the soap, that's a high heat contents, and the smell's no longer there. I don't want to waste my essential oils on a wash-off product. Soap is a wash-off product. It's not like lotion. I'll put my essential oils in my lotions and my salves, things that will stay on my body. But if I want a soap to smell good, I'll use fragrant oil. You purchase that through Brambleberry or through soap supply companies. You can get online, and there's a whole bunch of them. So, but today's going to be rosemary and currant. It smells really good. So I checked to see the olive oil, coconut oil, and rice bran are really good for your hair. In fact, this particular recipe says you could use sweet almond oil, one of these, sweet almond oil, avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, castor oil, palm oil, which I always just substitute that for vegetable shortening, like Crisco, grapeseed oil, and rice bran oil. I like to save my grapeseed oil for things that will leave on my skin. So I got a really good bargain on the rice bran oil. But like I said, a lot of the stuff that you cook with, you'll use. The only thing that you don't have laying around the house, or I didn't, was the lye. Again, when you start incorporating that, you have to be very careful. So let me show you. You have to have a scale, because this is down to the ounces or the milliliters, whichever one you want to choose. You don't just throw it in there. This is not a pinch of this and a pinch of that. Do not do a pinch of this or a pinch of that. You do it strictly according to the recipe. So, you turn, let me show you, let's see here. You turn it on, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, but it'll show. Actually, I'm messing with it, so it'll be 0. And then once you do is you want to find out your units. And this one here will do milliliters, grams, pounds and ounces, and ounces. I want to do ounces. I have already, very carefully I will show you, I've already measured my line. And I've got that away from everything else. I just want to do that. Let me get another small bowl. Hang on just a second. Okay, I'm back. So I've got me a big measuring jar. So you put it on top of your thing that weighs 37 ounces. So you punch tear, and that gets rid of it so that you can start adding your oils. I'm going to do the solid oil first. And let me get one that's already opened. Hang on just a second. And your coconut oil will come either as fraction, which means it's already been processed so that it'll be liquid, or it comes like this. And, I mean, you cook with this too. If it gets real hot, it's liquid. When it gets cold in the kitchen, it gets solid. So I'll do my solids first because that makes a big difference. You got to scrape everything out of this container. So we're looking for 10.66 ounces, and that's exactly what we get. I will fudge a little, like a fraction of an ounce, because sometimes you don't get it all out of the bowl. But anyways, this is, I mean, it's the hardest part is figuring out which recipe you want to use. When I first, I just cut myself. Hang on just a second. Okay, I'm back. I cut myself. And you go, what did I cut? I cut myself on the edge of the thing. You don't want blood in your soap, but you don't want open cuts messing with this stuff anyway. So, anyways, I'm going after 10.66 ounces. And, boy, there's some that smells, the coconut smells really good. This doesn't. I mean, it's organic. But the best, let me show you the best, because let me show you the best coconut oil. I think this is from Sam's, and oh my gosh, see now it's solid too. It smells like those Mound coconut candy bars. Oh, it smells good. But since I'm going to have these fragrant oils in here, it doesn't matter what the oils smell like. Oh, I've got some that's cocoa butter. Oh my gosh. I try not to do any fragrance in it because it smells like cocoa. Okay, that's 10.83. That's too much. 10.41. And you think, why are you being, but you got to, because this is chemical and this is chemistry. And I can't tell you what it does, but I do know you have to get 10.62. You have to get it exactly right because it's the chemical. That's why it's the chemistry, and that's why you do a lye calculator. 6.9. 6.5. Oh my goodness. And sometimes you think, okay, so there we go. All right, so there's that. And let me get my spatula. This is one of those heat-resistant spatulas. You don't want to just put anything in the lye because, again, it gets like over, well, I'll tell you how many degrees it gets in a minute. But anyways, okay, now we'll see. See now, even with that little bit that's left in there, I don't know if you can see that, it'll mess up your weight. So you got to get everything out. Okay, let's see if that's enough. Okay, so there's my coconut. And now I want olive oil. I use this from Walmart is actually cheaper for cooking and for soap making. But I try to use the extra virgin olive oil because I just like it better. Okay, 10.66 ounces of, no. See, I had to clear that out because there's enough residue, but it's not going to make a difference. Okay, 10.66 ounces. Okay, 7, 8, 9, Okay, there you go. 10.66. That wasn't bad. Okay, you want to make sure, especially the liquids. The liquids is kind of hard to get out because it hangs to the side. So you want to, and I'm pouring all of this in here because I'm going to put it in the microwave and melt it. Because the temperature of the oil has to be the same as the temperature of your lye. So, okay, I'm going to clear that out. Now, my rice bran, where did I put it? This is the stuff that you use to cook. Well, I got a bunch of stuff on the side of it. But you use to cook turkey. You know, turkey fry. So, 10.66. I need to clean this up on the top. 9, 4, 5, 5. 6.2. This isn't as easy as the. Of course, it's got to be the heaviest one. Anyway, so that's your rice bran, and you can look and see because each of these oils has their own properties. One will add suds. One is for moisture. Rice bran is very good but all of these are good for leave your hair soft and luxurious is what they said. Okay, so olive oil, coconut, and rice bran. Okay, now, I will take this, and I'm going to put it in the microwave, and I'm going to heat it up a little bit. I'm going to heat it up till the solids are melted. Okay, now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to get my goggles on. No, I got to get my water. Hang on, let me rinse this out. Okay, I'm back now. I'm putting and get my water together. I'm having to clear that out. And I need, now that's why you want the lye calculator, because it'll tell you how much lye and how much water. Now I need 10.05 ounces of water. Now, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can make this into herbal infused tea. You can use goat's, I haven't used milk because that really, goat's milk and stuff, that really, you have to do extra steps with that. So I'm keeping it simple for me right now. But let me do this. You want 10.05. Ah, baloney. Of course, I've got too much. Okay, 10.05. 0.02. 5. There we go. Okay, now there's my water for my lye. We'll go out there in just a minute, but let me check my oil here. And okay, it's I'm gonna have to heat it up a little bit more. But again, let me ask, please do not watch this video and go straight out and make soap. Okay? Because I'm not, this isn't an exhausted study about it. I want you to study it more. You know, Google people who have done this, and they do this for a living, and they make soap for a living. But you don't, okay, so I'm going to take my water. I need to move you outside, so hang on just a second. Well, flitter. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I'm outside. I have my glasses on. If I didn't have my glasses, I'd put goggles on. But I don't stir this very fast. And so I'm putting my gloves on. I'm going to get this. See, I have my gloves. And you might, it's cold out here, so you might be able to see. And I don't breathe around it. I don't do it inside because I have the cats in there. Because I don't know if you'll see it or not, but there'll be a steam come up because it's so hot. And I don't know if y'all can see that or not. See that? And then I just stir this until it's mixed. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's steaming. You don't want to get this splashed on you. You don't want to splash any animals on. You don't want to get it anywhere, but leave it in the pan. And people go, well, if that's lye soap, then it's, when it cures, it's got lye in it. No. You have to let this cure. That means you have to let it. You cut it and you let it sit in a box in air for 6 weeks, at least. And during those 6 weeks, it will cure, and the lye will, I don't know if it evaporates or what, but it leaves the soap. I mean, so when you've got soap afterwards, it's not going to be harsh on your body like Granny Clamp It. In fact, I was talking to Susan and Charles Massey, and he said his mom used to make lye soap, but the kind she made was for their laundry. So I don't know. And I'm sure they probably made their lye out of the ashes and stuff. I mean, they made their lye. I bought this. But I was going to ask him what did they use for their body if they didn't use the lye soap for anything but laundry. And I'm trying to see. Okay, it has stopped steaming, so I feel comfortable to take it back inside. So let me stop you. I'm back again. I had to put the plastic in my molds. Your molds, as far as molds is concerned, you can use anything. But Tim made these for me after looking and seeing what they got. These are just wooden molds that he made. And you put plastic bags, paper, plastic. You line it. Now, if you got the silicone molds, then you don't have to line it, but they have to be peeled out. But I don't make 1 or 2 pounds. You know, I like to make a lot of soap because I don't want to, I just want to do it, you know, I want to make more than 1 bar. Anyways, this is a thermometer, one of those infrared thermometers. You've got to get the temperatures correct. Okay, this one's 120, the lye is. And this one's 131. They can be within 10 degrees of each other. So by the time I get and this is one of those emulsifiers. I don't make a big enough one that you have to wait. You can stir it by hand, but this one gets faster and it doesn't, So, anyways, let's try it again. Okay, 129. 129, you're kidding me. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pour this in there. And, sorry if I made you sit there, I didn't mean to. But I'm going to pour it, because if you don't, if they're not all the same temperature, then it causes your oil to set up before it should. So then I'm just, and you want to make sure, I don't know if you can see, but I'm just mixing this up, stirring it. Wow. Yeah. As you can see, in other times I got it too hot. But anyway, you can stir this and you mix it until it goes to trace. That means when you pull it up, it makes lines and you can, kind of like pudding. You want it to be a pudding consistency. Now, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but some of the fragrant oils or essential oils or some things that you add to it can either make it colder or hotter and make it get traced faster. So you just kind of have to know what you can and cannot do. So I'm going to add my fragrant oil at trace. let you look at this. Let's see here. I don't know if I can see. And that's getting thick, pretty thick quick. But that's okay. It needs to be thick, but you don't want to have bubbles, air bubbles in there. So you have to stir it. And the ones that do this for a living, they'll make designs and stuff, and they're gorgeous. You just stir. See, that's getting thicker. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's almost to the pudding. So I'm going to go ahead and add my my fragrant oil. What did I do with it? And I need a tablespoon. What did I do with it? Okay. The recipe called for 2 tablespoons of fragrant oil. So I'm going to see if I got 2 fragrant. It doesn't matter if I just didn't want to get over. So that's 1. See, that's enough. Okay, now I'm going to mix it. I'm not going to put any colors. I'm not adding any colors to it. I've taken sweet potato peelings, orange peelings, all kinds of stuff, dehydrate it and ground it for exfoliating soap. But this isn't going to be an exfoliating soap. There's no need in making it color because it's shampoo. So, anyway, it can be pretty thick. You can see if this pot was really full that it would be more dangerous. But you can see how thick that's getting. Anyways, that's almost thick enough to put in the mold. You don't want to splash this on you because the lye is active right now. And they've got all different kinds of techniques. Oh my goodness, they've got ones where it's called a column pour, where you put something in your box and then you pour it over it in different colors. And we're not doing that today. I did that once. It was really pretty, but again, I just want to do a basic. Now, you don't want to wash this stuff out in your sink, because the lye is active and it will eat your pipes up, you know. So you want to take it outside and wash it that way. So I'm just going to pour this now into my mold. I don't know if you can see my mold. And this is pretty thick. And if it's not enough to make the whole box, Tim's got spacers for me. And again, this is you don't do things quick, because you don't want it to splash on you. But, oh, that smells good. And again, the fragrant oil is made, I don't know how they make it, but it's made to keep its fragrance. You use that in candles and soap and I don't know what else. I've made candles before and used it. And, okay. So, that's not a lot. Not as much as I thought. So let me get my spacer. Because you want it to cover the whole thing. And you can see it's not to the top. So I'm going to, in fact, I probably could have used one of Tim's smaller boxes. Yeah, I could have. But anyway, it's been a while since I've done my, and you just kind of, look, be careful. Okay. And as you see, it's still not. I want to make it smoother because when you cut this, you want it to be as even as possible. Now, I have, you know, the bubble wraps, the stuff that, I've got some of that I use for when I'm add honey to it, and it looks like a honeycomb. So you can add stuff in on the plastic can have a shapes and stuff in it. So that is that. That's all you need. And I will take and just kind of pull this over. And now I'm going to put this in the oven because I don't use my oven since I have my Susie Bake oven. But you don't want air to get through this. You want it to sit overnight. So you put it, you know, some people put them in their microwaves. And, yeah, you got. And I'll let that sit till tomorrow. And I'll record me pulling it out and cutting it and putting it in the boxes. So there you have it. That is your basic soap making. I've got to go outside, wash all this stuff up, and I will see you later. Let me pull this off so I can take this off. But even when you're washing this off, you've got to be careful because, again, the lye is active. So that's my soap making, and I'll see you tomorrow to finish this up. Okay, I'm back. This is the next day after I made the soap, and I put it in the oven to cure. And this is the mountain soap. And there's another thing of the mountain soap. I haven't undone them yet. And this is my shampoo soap that I made. You can see the difference because I didn't make any additives. Now, I never showed y'all the mountain soap. I call it the mountain soap because there was a lady in Appalachia that this is her recipe. And it's got, now that's, it doesn't hurt it. It's cured fast or whatever, but it doesn't hurt it. But the spots there are bee pollen. And I've got oatmeal, ground oatmeal in there. And I've got vitamin E. And I've got, in fact, that's like 2 pounds of Crisco, 2 pounds of canola, and 2 pounds of coconut oil. Then you got your vitamin E. I've got tea tree in there, tea tree oil. I've got a fragrance oil in there. And then I went ahead and put the bee pollen in there for color. But also, I don't know if it didn't cook off and make it too soft, it'll make a exfoliant. This is the one that's the best for your skin. Oh, it's got lemon juice in it. None of my others have lemon juice. I'm sure it's because of the pH balance to do it, but my other recipes don't have it. So that may be another reason why this does so good. So anyways, let me show you getting it out. Let me get the bigger one out first. Let me get the shampoo out. That's what I'll do. Because I have to get it out, unmold it, which is good for the plastic there. But then I cut it. And well, if you'll remember, the mold was too big yesterday for the shampoo, so I put a block in there. So all you do is just kind of lift it up. And you peel this off. Now this right here, I'll take it and it's still pliable. So I'll put it in I'll make it into now, and you can touch this now. You cannot use it for your, use it right now. For one thing, it's too soft. But another thing is it does have not as much lye in it as it did yesterday, because I'm touching it with my bare hands. Now this actually, and it might have been because it was cold last night. I don't know. But anyways, and then this is just a bar that I had purchased. And I try to see which is the, which is going to give me the most. And this is just one of those pizza cutter or whatever. I think they're pizza cutters. And whoa, see, that's very soft. Now this will dry. And so it looks pretty big, but it'll dry. And it'll shrink up. And I'll sell these, about $3 a bar. It depends too, because I'll add up some of the soap is higher because I have more stuff in there. So it just depends if I splurge and but yeah. And a lot of times people will take and cut the ends of the loaf off because it's whatever. But anyway, oh yeah, that is really soft. It looks prettier when you cut the ends of it off, so I'll just kind of cut that off. And I'll add that with when I make it. So there's my first cut, and this is shampoo soap. Oh, it smells good. And then I have a box lined with paper towel because, again, it's wet. And you're going to put them in here and you're going to separate them because they're going to set and cure for at least 6 weeks. And then they'll be able to be used. I will, let me go ahead and show you how I just taken, because I don't waste any of this. It's too good. I mean, it may look ugly, but it's still soap is soap. And I'll just take and probably make this into a ball or a rectangle or something, kind of like making biscuits. And then I'll let that cure. And I'll use that for the house. I won't sell that because, it's not pretty. But anyways, so let me turn this off. And like I said, you just, let me show you. And I'll do the same thing with the mountain soap. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's all cut. And the mountain soap, it has 6 pounds of oil. So it makes a lot of soap. And that's why I make it, because like I said, I don't mess with 1 or 2 bars. My time's too important. I have too many other things that have to be done. And you want to cut it straight. That always bugged Tim whenever I didn't cut it straight. But a lot of times now this was last night, so it's all, I could have left this in the box, let it cure some more in the box, but I just always cut it the next day and then let it cure out in the open. So let me put you on hold, and I'll come back to you in a minute. I wanted to show you, I don't know if you can see that, but that's a pretty good lather that I got from the shampoo soap. And like I said, I'm using it, but I wash it off quickly. You want that to dry to get hard enough, because you use that now in the shower, it'll all go down the drain. And you want it to cure more. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm back. This is the mountain soap that I got, and I wanted to show you also. You can see all the wrinkles because of the plastic, which shows you that you can make an imprint. Also, that soap is soft enough, and this one is too, that if you had a stamp, then you could stamp a design into it also. The very first soap made is called Aleppo soap. It's made in a place called Aleppo. It is strictly olive oil. That soap has to cure for 1 solid year because there's nothing else in there to make it hard. And so it has to dry for that amount. I would suggest that you look up Aleppo, A-L-E-P-P-O, soap, Look it up on YouTube because it's very fascinating to see how they make that. That's one of the very first recipes, first soap that was made. They made it out, like I said, all out of olive oil. The ones that I made, I put laurel berry juice or laurel berry essential oil in it. Again, that was really good. It smells good. It gives you some properties, some good properties in it. But again, it takes a year. And you want to label these because you're going to forget. First of all, you're going to forget when you made it, which I always label my recipes in my book so I know when I made it and how many times I've made it and what's in it, because once they're dry,